Blog Talk Radio.
Join BluPrint Radio each Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. BluPrint Radio host Claudia Thornwell interviews organization leaders on trends and best practices in business and human capital management, business and human resource leadership, and being a change champion in the new global business economy. www.blogtalkradio.com/BluPrint LLC.
Hi, and welcome to BluPrint Radio. BluPrint Radio is a division of the BluPrint Leadership Institute, and on the BluPrint Radio show, we interview organization leaders and change management professionals who are subject matter experts in human capital management, business strategy, government contracting, and those who've reinvented and led organization transformation in the new global and changing economy. I'm Claudia Thornwell, Human Resource and Management Consultant, and your BluPrint Radio show host. According to the Project Management Institute, a project is temporary in that it has a defined beginning, a defined end, and therefore has a defined scope of work and, of course, defined resources. A project team often includes people who many times don't work together. Sometimes they're from different organizations, and other times they are across multiple geographies. The goal of the project team is to ensure that each member uses their expertise and time wisely to deliver projects in a timely and budget-conscious manner. Our discussion topic today is project management, and on the line is our special guest, Claudia Skinner, President and CEO of ICS Consulting Services, a certified project management professional, and she has over 15 years of leadership experience in the oversight and management of global strategic projects. Claudia is an expert in implementing best practices and methodologies in program and project management, business readiness, and quality assurance. Claudia has worked with Fortune 500 firms across the globe, strategic partner to BluPrint LLC, and a faculty member with our BluPrint Leadership Institute. Welcome, Claudia, to BluPrint Radio. We're going to go to a short break, but when we return, we're going to begin our discussion on a very critical business topic, the value of project management. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Did you know that when you take a BluPrint Leadership Institute course, you can earn credits towards your PHR, SPHR, and GPHR recertification? The BluPrint Leadership Institute is certified by the Human Resource Certification Institute and by the International Accreditation Organization. Earn CEUs in project management, finance, executive development, and in other disciplines that will keep you current as a 21st century business leader. Register today. www.bluprint-llc.com.
Welcome back to BluPrint Radio. I'm Claudia Thornwell, your radio show host. Our discussion topic today is project management. We have on the line with us Claudia Skinner. She's a certified project management professional and president and CEO of ICS Consulting Services. She's also a strategic partner to BluPrint LLC. Welcome again, Claudia, to BluPrint Radio. Are you there, and can you hear me?
Yes, thank you, Gloria.
Excellent. Well, welcome again to BluPrint Radio. We're excited to have you on our show. I'm going to just go ahead. I like to kind of just jump right in, so I'll jump right in with my first question. And so, Claudia, my first question is, it's kind of two-part. So the first part is, who uses project management? I mean, what types of organization use project management? And then part two of my question is, is project management applicable to any type of business, to any type of, any government agency, to academic institutions, hospitals, etc.?
Thank you, Gloria, for having me on the show. To answer your question, we all use project management. Project management is applicable across all industries. It can apply to any type of business or organization. As you mentioned at the beginning of the show, a project is a temporary endeavor, so it can range from changing the layout at a small store to a multi-million-dollar global network implementation. any project, endeavor, or change, no matter its size or the industry, will have a series of steps or activities that someone will need to plan and manage. And project management offers the tools and practices to a project manager to initiate, plan, execute, and control any type of project. The project manager is sort of like a change agent that will manage how to implement a change in any organization. So no matter the nature of the change, the size of the organization, what organization type it is, project manager basically takes the project through the different activities and manages through its conclusion. So in reality, project management is used by everyone, and it applies anywhere and everywhere.
Got it. So let me ask you then, so I understand, I got that response. That makes a lot of sense. But, tell us really, why is it important? Why should I use it?
Well, we use project management in our everyday lives if you think about it, from the time that we get up to getting ready out the door, and if you go to a job or if you're building a home to deploying a new IT infrastructure, we all use project management. And it's the discipline of project management that provides us with a framework and with the tools and a methodology that can help us manage any type of project. And without project management, there will be chaos. There will be nobody managing those activities, those steps, and making sure that they happen in the right sequence and at the right time. Now, in addition to that, many organizations are seeing the benefits of project management. So, for example, a company that implemented a PMO already seen a decrease in failed projects by 31%. They deliver projects on budget. They improve productivity by 21%. All of this saves the company money and brings the company value.
Got it. So that's actually a great transition to my next question, which is, are there specific tools that project managers or project management teams use to ensure that they're on cue, that they are on task?
Well, there are many. My answer to that, it depends. There are many tools out there, and there are different methodologies that a project manager can use. From Microsoft Project to manage your project schedule, you can align your dependencies, estimate your resources, or you can use a more sophisticated tool such as PPM that not only helps you as a project manager coordinate your work within your project, but it can coordinate the projects across the entire organization. So it depends on your role in the organization, your role as a project manager, the environment that you are, the type of project that you are managing, and other factors such as the available technology in the organization. There are organizations such as the PMI, as you mentioned earlier, that can provide proven methodologies that project managers can use, and it can guide them on the different processes and tools that they can use to manage their project. There are other methodologies that work as well. For example, Prince2 is another methodology that is used around the world. But in my opinion, each project manager needs to examine what it is the best methodology to use and also what applies in their environment. What I mean is there are some environments that all you might need is Word and Excel. And in some cases, I have done that. I have just used an Excel document to manage an entire project. In other cases, I had to use PPM, SharePoint, MS Project Server, just because the program was large and it touched every part of the organization. So what I have to say is, in short, it really depends. It depends on the project and the organization and the tools and methodologies that you have available at that point.
Absolutely, and it certainly sounds like it also depends on, financial resources. So what's the budget? And so
Correct.
if the organization has the budget for some of the more, technologically savvy tools, or as you mentioned, perhaps a spreadsheet or, or SharePoint. So it really, as you said, depends on the organization and certainly their resources. Let me ask you another question. That is about how many people, are on a project management team. Is there like a defined, kind of a best number? Is it better to have a larger team, a smaller team? What's your experience there?
My answer, again, it depends. There is no formula. It all depends on the project and the organization. I think the way the organization is laid out really it directs, or it helps the project manager figure out the number of layers and the number of people that need to be involved. There are some projects that I worked that, had 6 people, and there are other projects that, require an army of people. It all depends on the type of project and the organizational structure. That is key to figure out how many people you are going to need.
Makes sense. So can you explain to our listening audience how project management differs from, say, general management?
Well, this is an important question. I'm glad you asked me, because there are some people that have the misconception project managers and managers are basically the same. And while a person that is managing the business, they're managing the ongoing operation. And as we've been talking about projects are a temporary endeavor. So they are aimed to produce a unique product, a unique service, or a process. So in many cases, this uniqueness means that there aren't any blueprints, that there are not anything, any process, any manual that a project manager can go to figure out how to do. So the project manager has the expertise and the experience in creating a plan to deliver these items, and based on their past experience and based on the different disciplines and tools that they've been taught on how to manage a unique endeavor.
Are you there?
Yes, sorry. I'm done.
No worries. So, Claudia, is there a reason why organizations, businesses should consider or, almost, be required to use a certified and skilled project manager?
That's a very good question as well. There is even a debate on from many project management professionals of whether you should be certified or not certified, and what that really brings to the organization. In my opinion, many business projects involve a large-scale planning that affects every department or every aspect of the business. And implementing the project means dealing with human resources, budgetary, and supplies constraints. So an accredited project manager has the skills and tools and methodology that can help them deliver the projects on time. They can create the plans. They can manage interdependencies. They can address conflicts. They can identify and know how to mitigate risk. So using a certified professional, they have the discipline, the methodology, the skills, the templates, and the experience behind them to manage a large project. And if anything, anything else is the same, when I hire project managers and they have pretty much the same qualifications, if one of them is a certified project manager, I know that they are passionate about what they do and that this is really the discipline and the career that they chose, and they have spent the time to get their certification. So as well as having the knowledge on all the methodologies and tools and templates that will help them and that they can bring into the organization. So I will hire that person over a person that did not have a PMP certification.
Yeah. And, and I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You want to be sure that they've, mastered a certain body of knowledge, and that certification, proves that point, that they have, as you mentioned, they have the discipline and they understand the technical intricacies and pieces of project management, both globally and, specifically as it, applies to, certain tasks. We're going to go to a short commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to continue our discussion on project management with our special guest, Claudia Skinner. Stay tuned. We had a small technical difficulty there, so we're just going to move right on. So we're back, and welcome back to BluPrint Radio. I'm Gloria Thornwell, your BluPrint Radio show host. Our discussion topic today is project management, and on the line we have a BluPrint strategic partner and certified project management professional, Claudia Skinner, President and CEO of ICS Consulting Services. Claudia, like in any business and with business practices, business projects, there's some challenges. And so as a project manager, what are some of the challenges that might cause a train wreck, if you will, as you are in the project management process?
Well, yeah, there are many challenges because, as we have been talking about, these are temporary endeavors. So there's a lot of unknowns. And besides that, some of the challenges that I have encountered in my career are, for example, unrealistic deadlines. This has been one of the most common challenges that I encounter. A date is defined before a project is even started. So not only can this be unrealistic, but also demoralize the entire staff because they already know that there is an unattainable goal. Another challenge is communication deficits. So people don't share enough communication about the project, or the wrong communication is shared. So sometimes a project manager is running around really going through rumors or the wrong status report or risks that are really not risk, and they really do because of a communication deficit. Another challenge is scope changes. So as you look at a project and let's say, an example I always use is somebody tells you, I want a car. But before you can start building the car, you want to know, okay, do you want a car? Do you want it to have 4 doors? Do you want it to have wheels? We want it to have what color? All these little things that at the beginning are really not that important. Towards the end, depending on how difficult they are to do, they will change the nature. So somebody told me that they wanted a car, but, they wanted a BMW, and I deliver a Ford. That's very different of what they were expecting. Another challenge is research competition. So many programs, many projects within an organization are not the only project going on, and you are always using the same resources, or, in some cases, the best resources are always used across multiple projects. So you always have this competition or this resource that might need to work on 3 or 4 projects. Another thing, the failure to manage risk. Risk are seen in many organizations as a taboo, something we don't talk about. And as a project manager, risk management is one of the most important things because you want to anticipate what may happen and plan for it. But in many organizations, that just is not something they want to hear about. Other things are, lack of accountability. The people that are within the group or the customers are not involved, or they don't have the accountability within the organization to help you with the program. And lastly, sometimes the lack of project management skills. There are times that if you do not choose the right project manager, that is a challenge because the individual is not going to be able to succeed managing a program, depending, how big the program is and the experience they have. If they don't have the required skills, project management skills to run it, you may encounter many challenges that you wouldn't if you had those skills.
So that's a lot. And so with that, what makes then a successful project manager or a successful project management team? And referring to the project manager, primarily because he or she is the lead person, but what helps, what makes them successful?
Well, I think, all the methodologies, the tools, the project management discipline is a good starting point. But in my opinion, the most successful project managers are good leaders and they have good people skills. Those are, in my opinion, more important than the methodology they use or the tools they use. I can say that some of the best project managers that I have encountered have those soft skills that helps them be better leaders. So, for example, they can foresee a lot of the issues that they might encounter. They're organized. And you might think, organization, project planning, that should be a no-brainer. But it's not just about planning tasks, but somebody that is organized and can keep their eye on and staying focused. What they're trying to deliver? What is the big picture? Somebody that is a good communicator, that they know who to communicate, how often and how. And people that maintain focus to get their work done, and that they're empathetic, that they can understand people and they can not only listen to them and understand their concerns, but address them.
So, Claudia, we're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to return to our topic today, project management. So we'll be right back. We're still experiencing technical difficulties. I do apologize for that. Welcome back to BluPrint Radio. Our discussion topic today is project management. I'm Gloria Thornwell, your radio show host, and on the line we have our certified project management professional, Claudia Skinner. Claudia, your last response, we talked a little bit about what makes a successful project manager. And then, so my next question is kind of a piggyback question. So if I'm hired as a certified project manager, say at a hospital, for example, does it make sense for me to have, expertise in order for me to be successful as a project manager at a hospital, does it make sense for me to have some knowledge of or some expertise in the medical field to be effective in that environment, or does that not matter?
Well, my favorite response, it depends. I think it depends. In certain industries, you must absolutely have the expertise in that field. But that's the exception, not the rule. I believe that a successful, a good project manager can utilize the skills they have to manage any type of project in any industry. And not to say that having that knowledge, the industry knowledge, is going to hurt them, but, I will take a person that I know is an exceptional project manager over a person that has the industry knowledge, because the project manager will get the work done. And that's what you need for a person running a program, to lead the project to a successful delivery. Not to say, again, that it wouldn't hurt if they had the experience and the knowledge.
I got it. And so, that makes a lot of sense. If if I'm a subject matter expert or have some expertise in medicine, as you mentioned, it will be helpful to have that. as a project manager. But as you mentioned, even as a skilled project manager, maybe, I may not need the expertise in medicine, for example, or something in the medical field. I can still lead the project, as effective, even without that expertise. So, Claudia, we're running out of time. We have about 4 minutes left. So, in summary, project management then is the application of knowledge, skills, and techniques to execute projects effectively and efficiently. So it's a strategic competency for organizations. It enables them to tie project results to business goals, and then ultimately better compete in their markets. Now, Claudia, actually, on April 23rd, you're going to lead a 3-day project management course in partnership with the BluPrint Leadership Institute. Who should register for that course? And in the 3-day period, what immediate learnings will they take away?
Yeah, so we are preparing an introduction to project management. So I would say those who are new to project management and those who want to learn the fundamentals on project management and the tools that are available. We're going to cover project management phases, the processes, what they need to do throughout the life cycle of a project, and examine the project management knowledge areas. And we are going to use the PMI methodology to get us through a project life cycle, using real-life examples and linking it to projects that I have experience with. So the students will be able to get real-time, real-life know-how of how to manage a project. In addition, I will discuss a little bit the steps that it takes to become a PMP certified professional, so that any of those people that want to become a PMP certified project manager understand what is required to become PMP certified.
Excellent. Well, Claudia, we've had a very, very enlightening discussion on project management. I've certainly learned a lot. And we look forward to your project management course coming up on April 23rd at the BluPrint Leadership Institute. Claudia, I want to thank you so much for your time this evening, for joining BluPrint Radio and sharing your insights and expertise on project management, which is a critical business and organization topic. To learn more about project management or to register for our project manager course, you can visit www.bluprint-llc.com, and that's blue without the E, www.bluprint-llc.com. Click on Leadership Institute, and then click on Leadership Tracks. Many of our courses can be used for recertification credits for your PHR or your SPHR, for those human resource professionals on the line. We want to thank you to our listeners for joining BluPrint Radio, and we hope that you will join us each Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Until then.
Join BluPrint Radio each Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. BluPrint Radio host Gloria Thornwell interviews organization leaders on trends and best practices in business and human capital management, business and human resource leadership, and being a change champion in the new global business economy. www.blogtalkradio.com/BluPrint LLC.